Folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu Edumasa. Welcome to another edition of That's My Opinion. This very beautiful ritual performed on Mondays right here on Joy 99.7. Make it a point, folks, every Monday, set your alarms, set your reminders. Right after news night on Mondays, we'll drop an opinion and we all, we agree, we disagree. But whatever we do it agreeably. Folks, if road deaths were like Ebola, if all these deaths on the roads were treated as though it were Ebola, that's our topic today. Now, let me caution listeners that, there will be no mincing of words. Pardon me. This show will not be for the faint-hearted. There may be strong language. There will be raised voices and harsh tone, folks. There will be painful admissions. But the show must go on. First of all, folks, you see, I have learned as a leader that it is easier to stop harm from coming to your people, but to stop your people from going to harm is very difficult. Folks, the situation we live in present times goes to prove that Thomas Edison may be right after all when he says that 5% of people think. 10% of the people think they think. And the other 85% would rather die than think. Thomas Edison says 5% of the people think. 10% of the people think they think. And the other 85% would rather die than think. Again, I really do not know why or where we get it from. But our value that we place on dead bodies are just at a premium. To the extent that most cases, families that can't help the living will pull all strings to recover their dead bodies. Recently on Joy News, right here at the Ridge Hospital, family won't come and pay to discharge a lady who would finish treatment. The doctor calls the family to say she's at the morgue. Bam! They make monies ready to come and recover the body. Now, according to the doctor, the lady was so furious, started fighting with them. This, folks, is not comedy. This is the reality we live with. This is the reality we live with. Husband won't turn out to come and get the wife from hospital, but will come to get the body. With no matter the price, the husband will come. Folks, this is the reality we live with. Therefore, you should understand the difficulty I have in addressing this issue of deaths on our roads. But before we forget, I did an opinion once, and the topic was: can you be Ghanaian and poor? Can one be a citizen of Ghana while being poor? That was the topic. But today I'm saying, if you know anyone like that, let me know, because I would want to meet them. Somebody who's destitute and still be covered and protected by the laws of Ghana. I want to know that person. It doesn't end there. Because our politics, folks, that we practice makes us demand absolute freedom. In exchange for our votes, you give us freedom, including freedom of indiscipline and to break the law, which is gladly granted to us. So far as we can guarantee their votes, you are allowed to do anything. Folks, there were issues. I remember once upon a time, cars were being stopped for bald tires, and the drivers revolted. You can only see a small bit of the thread on the tires, and the police is arresting me. Seat belts. No. We can't have seat belts in our cars. The drivers revolt. The passengers in the car says, Papa Police, you are wasting the guy's time. Just let him go. Next time he'll change the tires. Can you imagine? The passengers in the car telling the police off that get off the way, let us go, we have to get to work. Tomorrow he will change the tires. But for today, let him go. After all, we did not vote for the government to come and waste our time. Folks, how I wish that was it. But the list goes on. We see heavy laden trucks with charcoal tilted precariously, traveling at 15, 20 kilometers an hour, struggling to move due to a weak, smoky engine and sheer weight. With people sat on top of it, folks, with a long pole to lift up electric wires as they go along. There's one, two running after the car with a piece of wood we call the chalk, just in case the truck needs to stop. But guess what? They've gone through about 5, 6 police barriers before they got to Accra. Yes! They've traveled through about 5, 6 police barriers before they got to Accra. And it is as though the only time the Ghana police works at its premium, 2 times. One is if they themselves are attached, or 2, if there's a DV plate. As for that, even if the Ghanaian police is dead, they will resurrect and act if they see a DV plate. That's the only time. You manage to shoot a policeman, you see action. If you dare put DV plates on your car, no matter what, even if his mother is dead, they will stop the burial and come and deal with the DV plates. Other than that, anything goes. So folks, picture this. Here we are, unable to stop people from going to harm, struggling to think, obsessed about the dead, living in a country where the poor are marginalized. Some even have no value for their own lives, drunk on a culture of absolute freedom, even to break the laws that protect them. And still, I am not done. But these are the premises on which we hope to stop road carnage. This is the premise on which we are going to stop road carnage. Folks, the road engineering, roads. I can buy a trip of sand today and tip it on any road that I want. I won't put any warning sign. I just leave it there and go. There can be a dangerous hole in the middle of a busy road, even the motorway, and it will be there for months. Cars will fall in, indeed get damaged, some may lead to accidents, and it will still be there. And those responsible are still at post. On the 15th of January, bus traveling somewhere in the western region of Ghana, trying some maneuver, obviously not a wise maneuver, kills 34, injures several, 34 perished. Now the next day, this was not major news. Until my own brother Malik Dabo on the newspaper review on the Super Morning Show got angry and fed up. That what sort of a country is this that 34 people can die and it's still business as usual? Then we started to talk about it. And even that, it was as though only 34 people have died so far. But I think the number 34 was good. It was easy. For us in the media now, the name of the game is sensation. So where 34 was easy to create the usual sensation. Because folks, I mean, the list is endless. 14th January, 20 people died somewhere around Dompiase. The same 14th January, 2 bikes, 2 separate accidents, dead in Unam Eastern Region. 15th January, 13 cars plus 1 bike right here at Denta. 20th January, careless driving caused massive accident on motorway. 27th December, 7 died, Kumasi. 26th December, 6 died, Kumasi Road. 3-month-old baby and 11 died. I mean, the list is just endless. I could sit here and read and read and read. All this and maybe over 200 dead so far. And yet, it's not enough to start a revolution of safety on our roads. When I heard that they were going to dualize the road, the minister were going to dualize the road after the accident, I laughed. And I said, don't you just laugh, politicians? I laughed them. Which road is more dualized than the motorway? You know what goes on there? Which road is more dualized than the motorway? And do you know what goes on there? The motorway. Just pure madness. It's so mad that even breaking the driving rules are normal. You can undertake, no problem. Now there are about 3 pedestrian crossings on the motorway. There are about 8 throttle stations on the motorway. Any vehicle, even 50cc motorcycles, can go on the motorway. Tricycles laden with rubbish can go on the motorway. Folks, I'm sure if you have a roller skate or roller belt, you will be allowed to go on the motorway. Any nonsense goes on our road. Unless you, the driver, don't want to do it. Anything you want, you can do on our roads. And so when City FM started the road safety campaign, other media houses, we won't join in fully because we are also competing. Let them join. But then we are the people who are dying. It's not only City FM people that are going to die. We will all die. And so you expect that we all chip in and add some beef and juice to it and make it stop. But competition will kill it. But I like what Malik said. That after one company has had one or two or more accidents, kick them out of the game. Kick them out. But let me add that don't just kick them out, imprison them and heavily fine them. Fine them till thy kingdom come. How is it possible that you can kill so many people and still be in the transport business when you are killing them through the transport business? Shut them down. Yes, they will bring their pastors and their chiefs to come and beg them. As soon as you or start a business. So what about the lives that are being lost? And the insurance companies. Edgar Redu, hello. Perpetual Amma, hello. The insurance companies. How does it work that a 20-year-old manages to get a driver's license and his first job after 3 months of getting a license is to drive a 23-seater passenger car? And still the gas insurance is valid? How does it work? And you see the boy in front of the car, the steering wheel, and you know he's an idiot. Folks, you can't judge a book by its cover, but you look at him and you know he's an idiot. Dirty, sleeveless vest, unkept, trying to overtake anything and everything on the road. And you just know it won't be long before he kills people. And these are the people who you cannot stop from going to harm, because if you dare stop that car, you will see what they will tell you. You would hear what they will tell you. We see all this all the time. The driver will be taking instructions from the driver's mate as to whether to pull into the road or not. And the mate will just stick his hands out and say, yeah, blah, 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 go. And then, bam! Then the begging begins. Begging you in the name of God, begging you in the name of Allah, begging you everything. But folks, can't we treat this issue the same way we treated Ebola? Look at how we panicked. People wouldn't shake hands. Everybody suddenly had, sanitizers. I mean, we were just cautious, even though no one died. Look at how cautious we were. What is it that makes us think that a car death is not as bad as an Ebola death? But I want to stop here because, otherwise I'll go on, and I know you have more to say on this one. But as we are dying, folks, Our big bosses who can really, those with the green pen, who can really do something, they are busy with us compiling another voters list to come and vote. Forget about whether you're dead or not. If you're dead, go. If you are maimed, go. But for now, what is important is go and vote for us to stay in power. And they've been in power for the last 60 years. We have owned being sovereignty for the last 60 years. 2,000 is the average that get killed in a year. 2,000. Folks, it's 0302216541. 0302216541. Voting has superseded common sense. Talk to me. But I say we are doomed. If you are driving, drive for yourself and drive for others. Because nothing will change. This is our Lord. Just make sure that in 2020, 2000, that's your prayer. For stopping or somebody interceding for you, forget it. Emma. Your prayer should be that this year's 2000, Lord, take me out. As for the 2000 or more, they shall surely go. At the moment, we have crossed 200. So if you're listening to me, thank God. Elom is on the line. Hello, Elom.
Hello, good evening, Michael.
Good evening, boss.
Yes, please. This accident issue, I have had cause to speak about it.
Mm-hmm.
And last year by this time, I was arguing vehemently with one opinion leader, Isa Nkuma, on his Facebook feed. I think at that time they were launching this, if you see something, say something.
Mm-hmm.
And my argument was that we are a country preparing to fight terrorists, which has not killed us yet. Accidents that are killing us now, we don't seem to have a problem with it, but we are putting up all our arsenals, fighting something that has not killed us. So when accidents kill and we are all dead, who will go and fight the terrorists? At the same time, 29 people were shot somewhere in Europe. Our parliament were issuing statements, our government was issuing statements. When in our corridor, close to 60 people had died in an accident. And we seem not to have any issues with it. So I think in Ghana, when you die by road accident, you are not dead. Maybe you are alive. But when you die, look at those 34 people. If they were shot by terrorists, you know what would have happened in this country? And so it's like we are just living to please people. We don't care about our own lives.
Thank you very much. But Nee is on the line, 0302216541. Hello, Nee.
Yes, sir.
Let me hear you.
Nana,
Mm-hmm.
I was taken out of this incident. After the last 2 weeks, I planned to travel on that Tuesday to Dawn. But something happened, I couldn't get back on that journey. So probably I would have been packed. I like traveling very late. Within the very hours that these buses were moving, that happened. Quickly, friends have to call me and ask if I was able to get back on the journey. And I have to go on my knees and pray. The indiscipline on our road is nothing but caused by our various leaders. Because they themselves are indisciplined to move with this car anyhow with the siren, therefore nobody respects the law. Would I like to take permission from you to add something which is a little off what you're discussing?
Very quick.
I had a vision concerning what is likely to happen in the and it's based on two different women who are in power or in the company. And if they are not well managed, it's going to bring chaos in the country. It has occurred to me twice as a vision. And these two women are being manipulated by one man who is behind the scenes. He is not a top political personality, but he controls most of the affairs of the political policies, and he is behind the scenes.
Well, thank you very much. Let those who have ears, let them hear. That's all I can say. But Kay is on the line. Hello, Kay.
Yeah, Nana.
Yes, sir.
So I was saying that, you see, in this country, we don't punish politicians. That is why they take us for granted. So you're putting people in authority, but then they are not doing what they are supposed to do. Listen, politicians don't care about us. It is up to us to punish them when they do the right thing. If you come to power, you refuse to do whatever you are supposed to do, we kick you out. The only time a politician will die for you, it is when he feels a voter register is going to be changed or not changed. Then they will tell you that they will fight the last drop of their blood. But if 100 people die on the road because of negligence of whoever they put on authority or a driver, they don't care because it doesn't affect their pockets directly. So until we punish politicians, these issues will come back. Listen, if I take this drainage system into consideration, every single year it drains, people drown, places get flooded, they come and talk. The following year it will happen again. It will happen again. How many times will we? But still, it is because we don't punish them. So they take us for granted. It's as simple as that. Just that we are saying it will die very soon. Next time it will happen again and we'll come back to this same conversation again. Thank you very much.
Unfortunately, it's very true. 0302-216-541. Jonathan is on the line. Hello, Jonathan.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, good evening, my brother.
Good evening.
Yeah, I admire your strength and courage to keep doing this thing every week. Truth is that this country is descending down the hill and hope is lost. And it's like indiscipline has become the order of the day. Check every part of our public life, there is indiscipline. And for the politicians, they care less. And for us, we become victims. And for the media, it's business as usual. So I think that you guys in the press, the media, the press should be able to come up with a certain agenda that you have to drive. It should come to a point where you are no more just reflecting what the society is saying, but you guys should lead an agenda. Lead a certain crusade, a certain revolution led by the media. Before this thing can stop. Otherwise, we aren't going anywhere. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you very much, too. My brother Lukman is on the line. Hello, Lukman.
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, I thought by this time you may have been getting tired of talking about our problems. Because, sometimes we always blame politicians. It is not always politicians. Sometimes we have to blame ourselves. Politicians don't drive trotro. You are a trotro and the driver is driving recklessly and you want to complain. The same passengers will come at you. So the blame should start from us. You see, we shouldn't be blaming everything on somebody. We have to start it by ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lukman. 0302-216-541. Well, Asante Dakun is on the phone. Hello, Asante Dakun.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Lukman has made my day. Now, when you downgrade every conversation to politicians, then the whole conversation, is messed up.
But I hope you're not talking about, because I blamed everybody on this show.
No. I'm talking about those who some of the people who commented earlier on.
Okay.
That politicians don't care about it. Look, what is happening now is a symptom. Red light motorbikes will just ride through. You do overhead, people will not climb. They will cross the road and insult you, the driver, when it's even green. You go to the hospital, The nurse doesn't have that kind of agency. A newsman goes to carry news. He knows the right stuff. He brings some English to mar the news or misreport. It is a symptom. If those people were driving articulator, they would do wrong overtaking. So we have a deep-seated problem as a country. And until we go back to basics and say that this wrong is wrong, people should do the right thing. We find a way of doing it. I mean, so what is happening now, like you said, it will continue. Buildings will break down. Somebody knows that he must use the cement and so aggregate. They won't use it that way. Yeah. So please, the problem is with all of us. All of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just pray that this year's 2000, you are exempt. Ebenezer is on the line. Hello, Ebenezer.
Yeah, this is Ebenezer calling from Pukwasi.
Let me hear you.
Yeah, Nana, I think what we are going through is a serious thing. I went to Takrady yesterday for a funeral on the road. This kind of overtaking is still going on. What is our leaders doing? We are saying we should blame ourselves. At the end of the day, there should be policies. There must be policies in place which will check all these things. When you travel outside, you realize that they've put all these things in place. So there's no way that you can fool around. We blame politicians. Definitely, we have to blame them. We must also blame ourselves too. I'm trying to say that why don't we get cameras at certain vantage points whereby there are serious, what will I say, problems or challenges to curb all these things. Thank you very much for your show.
Thank you too. But Gifty is on the line. Hello, Gifty.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
You know, when you are on the road, sometimes the way some drivers drive, jumping from one lane to the other, sometimes you are tempted to think that they are driving themselves to death. Of late, you see the four-wheel drives with their hazards on, overtaking 10, 20 cars at a go. I think we just don't care. We just don't care, Nana. Despite all the education on safe driving, we just don't care. Thank you.
Thank you too. Thank you too. This one says, Nana, sometimes I feel Ghana is a failed state. Oh, we have too many illiterates and semi-illiterates driving commercial vehicles in this country. They don't understand road signs, road markings. We are now having to put up with motorcycles driving towards oncoming cars and crisscrossing lanes. I get panicky at the way they don't obey, give way and stop signs. You in the runabout, instead of waiting to slot in, since they have no clue of driving rules, they overtake at the wrong side of the vehicle. This is Nana in Spintex. But Derek is on the line. Let me hear you. Hello, Derek.
Yes, sir.
Yes, boss.
I greet you, sir.
I get you back.
Nana, I don't even know which direction we are going now. Because the facts are very straight. You know, what is happening is the whole police service is so politicized, polarized. They are either NDC or MPP. So when one party is in office, all they think about is ballot boxes and protection of the government in office, not we, the citizenry. The MTD is practically not working. Because if they go on their patrols on the roads and check all these things, I think with or without speed limiters, drivers will be more disciplined on the roads. Because Ghanaians by nature, we are indisciplined.
No, humans in general. Humans in general.
Exactly. I thank you, sir. We are just indisciplined. And until somebody is somewhere checking us, we don't do the right thing, deliberately. So I think we cannot do without blaming the politicians. They should sit up and let the laws that they enact. They should at least let it.
Thank you very much. That was Derek. But Ajari is on the line. Hello, Ajari.
Yeah, hello, Nana. Good evening.
Let me hear you, my brother.
Okay, thank you very much, and you're welcome to Jumaku in the Central Region.
Oh.
Now, what I'm saying is that I also admire how intrepid you are, because in Ghana, if you are able to talk about some of these things, then you ought to have that kind of cojones to, talk, because at the end of the day, a lot of people may not be happy in terms of the truth that you bring on board. But Nana, I'd like you to do something. You see, some of these programs such as yours, I mean, for me in particular, even when I was a student at the University of Ghana, I was listening to you. So I've listened to you for some time now.
Great.
But mostly those of us who call, we all talk. Yes, indiscipline is not good. Yes, it has taken the center stage of the day and all that. I would like you to ask those who call, into this show, for them to also tell you what are they themselves doing to reduce indiscipline to the barest minimum. Because those of us who call, we are the same people who, quote unquote, sorry for this word, fool on the street. Because you meet a Ghanaian who will throw something like later around, you ask the person to go for the thing. The person will ask you, is that your bedroom? That same person will call on air and speak impeccable English, blah, 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 discipline, and go away. So now when we continue this way, the program will go on every day. People will come and speak impeccable English, but the main problem will persist. You understand? So that is my issue. That when people come, please, I would like you to put, to them that they should show you the kind of, at least that particular, how should I even put it, for want of a better word, initiative. Yes, that's the word that they are also bringing on board in terms of, finding an optimal solution to some of these challenges we are talking about. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for listening and being loyal to the show. Nana, we have talked. When is the demonstration? We are standing up. When are we standing up and asking for our roads and traffic lights to be working? Please, we need you, the influential people, to move the motion. Thank you. Kwame Paperbags from Afghanistan City. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hi, Nana. My name is Senyejom Adadovo.
Let me hear you.
Nana, we all keep saying, we're a group of indisciplined people. But the truth is that humans in general are indisciplined, and we are the same all over the world. What we have failed to do, and others have been better at doing, is that our indiscipline can bring us such great revenue. For instance, like for the road issues, I was driving with a friend once from New York to Columbus. Now, he knew the part that if we went over a certain speed limit, we would be arrested. But I think he checked and he saw no police in sight. He drove as he wanted. At a point, we got stopped. What happened? We were monitored and we were picked up. But you see, what happened there was the police did not ask us to park this car and follow them. No. They only took the driver's details, gave him two options. You either pay on the spot fine or you come to court. Do you know what? The court, you live in New York, so you're supposed to come to court in a time. To do that, you immediately have to pay on the fine, on the spot fine. That's revenue right there. And I'm told that these officers also have a percentage of the number of cars that disobey. So what will happen now is that we will not find, we will not find our police taking, quote and unquote, buy from any chicken change from anybody, because you are going to get commission on the spot fine, which is no mean money. Do you get it? And no policeman is also going to be indisciplined, hitting your car, my friend, pass this car. No. And then the revenue to the state. Right here in South Africa, there's a spot where cameras were fixed and people were removing it. What did the state do? They got energetic officers and they were up in the tree holding the cameras and still catching people. So the system has made it a way that you can't beat it. And at the same time, the people, the police that we don't respect here are being given a percentage. So they are not going to connive with you and you give them 5 cedis. No. If on the spot fine is 250 cedis and theirs is 10% and they take at least 5 cars, and who wants to come to port from Accra to Takoradi all the time. No, you don't. So what do? You don't want to wait 250 Ghana on the spot, so you will drive well.
Thank you so much for that. Promise is on the line. Let me speak to Promise. Hello, Promise.
Yes, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You are loud and clear in La Paz. All right. So what I want to talk about is...
Promise, sorry. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from La Paz.
La Paz. Good. Okay.
Yes. What I want to talk about is we ourselves as Ghanaians, we need a certain mindset change. We need to change our mindset. So the last time I went to one of the institutions where we do process people for medicals and when they are traveling. So I was doing the process for one guy and I was like, what does he do? He says he drive truck this long way. I was like, so I asked him, why do you people always park your cars in the middle of the road? Like, why do you do that? And he told me that, sometimes when you are driving and you have a fault, some of them don't have the things they can work with their cars, so they just park it. I was like, but if you know you don't have the things, don't you have that triangle that you can like put it far so that people can walk and look at it? And he can't even answer me. And this is someone who, sorry for the word, but is not well educated. And you just imagine, we ourselves, the road tolls that they take from this motorway. Every day we are paying tolls. Where is that money going? And still we are complaining that the motorway have portals. Why is that? As we are paying the tolls, that particular money, what are they using it for? We don't know. And we ourselves, we sit down and sometimes we defend things that we cannot defend. Like there's a gentleman who called and was talking about rubbish, people drawn in rains and when it rains flat. Government will come and drain everything. We will still put our rubbish in there. We ourselves, we are killing ourselves here. We need a mindset change. If our mindset is changed, then we can be able to hold those accountable, because they will tell us that, okay, you drain it and later if people have squatted it, you built over here again, you block the road.
Thank you very much. This one is from Dr. Kikeli, Tema General Hospital. Nana, we are just indisciplined in this country. Another road traffic accident was recorded yesterday in Tema, near Temasco, exactly 7:20 p.m., claiming 5 lives. Ghana is really bleeding. God have mercy. Thank you, Dr. Kikeli. But right on Ghana Web, this was, I think, on the 20th, which is today. So it says a total of 116 people died in road traffic accident last year alone in Tema, as the motor traffic accident surge continues to rock the country. According to the data compiled by Tema Regional Motor Traffic and Transport Department of the Greater Accra region, the figure represents 4 people less than 120 people killed the previous year, 2016. There were 126 pedestrians knocked down recorded last year by the MTTU, and it goes on and on and on and on. So yes, Dr. Kikeli, the country is really bleeding. But Mohammed is on the line. Salam alaikum, Marada.
Yeah, what is salam, Nana?
Let me hear you.
Yeah, you see, sometimes people blame the commercial drivers, but I think they should rather be complimented, because the road, you have to memorize the road in your head. You have to know all the spots, the dangerous spots before you drive on. So even though drivers are sometimes indisciplined on the road, you also have to complain them, because the road is very bad, as you said. We pay toll for so many years. Where does that money go? And somebody say you don't blame politicians. I'm not a politician. Nobody has given me power to do anything. Somebody have brought himself that I can do this, so vote for me. And we voted for you, we give money to do a particular thing, don't do that. And people say we don't blame politicians. Who do you blame? You bring yourself that you do this, and we give you money to do that. Taxpayers' money, the whole world wide. That's what they do to develop their country. So when we don't blame the police, who do you blame? They are the people who are told to blame. It is only Africa. When you want to make money that you did not wait for, you have to do politics. So people go into politics just to make money. And you say we don't blame them. Who do you blame? We blame them because we give them the power to do what they are supposed to do. And they don't do that. They don't resign. Right now, Minister of Youth and Transport must resign. Minister of Transport. We were here, somebody was late for 1 hour. They said we should clap for him. Why a colleague of him made late for only 1 minute and he resigned? And what are people talking about? Sometimes, you see, common sense is not common for common people. People should try and conscientize themselves, and you should not allow politicians to treat you anyhow like that.
Thank you very much. With this road accident issue in our country, we talk of it today, tomorrow, we keep quiet over it while we can prevent it from happening. But my question is, how many of those driving, making illegal overtakings license have ever been seized in this country? Most people it's painful seeing people dying like fish at the seaside, and only the Lord will help us through. Douglas in D.C. Kofi is on the phone. Kofi.
Yes, Nana, good evening. I hope you're doing well.
I'm good, Kofi.
Excellent. We've been discussing over our friends and brothers and sisters calling. We are talking about the problems. But, it's great to highlight all that. And others, we're talking about politicians. As I always say, I always draw the line between the sheep and the shepherd. I blame the president. I blame the leaders. This that is happening here, people have said over and over. When you go to the United States, you go to UK, you go to here, South Africa, wherever, they are human beings. We are human beings. They have leaders, and the leaders are putting measures. All right? Mm-hmm. So even though human beings, by our nature, will be indisciplined or will be corrupt or whatsoever, that is why a community, when all this started, there wasn't politicians and all. It was just you, a chief, and your community, and when there's a problem, you solve it. The same way, because all of us cannot be police, all of us cannot be president, we elected some people to govern, to make sure there's law and order. All right? Mm-hmm. So, engineering, road, doer, why can they do it? You blame the president, you blame the leaders. How about law enforcement on the road? Like they talk about cameras, they talk about courts. It's all there to be done.
Leadership seems to be cause and the rest is effect. I think that's what you're trying to say. Hello, Nana. Ghana's problem is just indiscipline, like the food we eat, and because it's sweet to the tongue, we can never stop. My quote for this topic is, if you don't know where you are going, any road you take you there. So until we enforce our laws and control everybody in this country, we will continue to be an advised country. Pakofi in Lakeside. Good evening, Nana. I was just reminded of the policy that the government had wanted to introduce to tow away broken down trucks on our highway. The majority of the Ghanaian public rose up against it, and it never materialized. Therefore, that's a whole new chapter. Eunice is in East Legon, and she says, Nana, DVLA is 100% responsible for the mayhem on our roads. Stark illiterates with clean driving license. Who gave them those licenses? They can't interpret road signs, but they are speeding on our roads. DVLA is to blame. Malik in Andenta says, Nana, just last week I was on the motorway getting close to the Community 18 exit, and then a Yaris did an illegal U-turn from the road leading to Accra onto the Tema-bound road. And instead of him staying in in the speed lane. After he joined the road, he came to the outer lane at a lower speed than us. It was only God who, if my driver had panicked, it would have been a different issue. The indiscipline is too much. My brother, this 2020, me and you are seeing it through. We are not going to be part of the 2000. That should be our prayer. That as for the 2000 and more, they will surely go. Because Assembia NC, it is business as usual. And it is an election year. So as for driving, those that are left, just make sure your thumb is alive. These days they say they are going to do facial recognition, whatever it is. So just make sure you have a face. And when the time comes, you'll be buzzed to wherever it is to make sure your face and your thumb are captured. That is the priority. So your prayer to God is that this year 2000 empowerment. That should be your prayer. That this year, the 2000, may I not be part of it. And it is my prayer for you, particularly those who listen to the show. I need you to be listening so I keep my job. So I am praying for you. Johnny Bluku Alote. Nana, good evening. Unless we treat the carnage and indiscipline as a national emergency and treat it as such, we will only scratch the surface of the matter. 1. Intense re-education, retraining of all drivers is required with emphasis on safety, manners towards other road users, and learning the current intense re-education, retraining of all drivers required with emphasis on safety, manners towards other road users, learning the current road traffic regulation LI 2180 and the Road Traffic Act 683. 2. Entire media must play a consistent and intense role in driver, motorcyclist and pedestrian education. 3. The police must enforce the law and charge criminal drivers under the proper section of the law for infractions. Johnny in East Airport. My name is Nana Ansah Kwao IV. Aisha Ibrahim is up next. But before I go, I just got this post, Mr. Joseph Ahin, who died on the same spot where those 34 people died. I just got a post, and your funeral would be Saturday, 8th of February 2020 at the Assemblies of God Church at Apoa. Joseph Ahin. Eugenia Sintimedi said he was my classmate, a good lawyer, a friend with so much potential. Died just before Christmas on the same stretch where these 34 people died. Aside politicians, our own recognize as Ghanaians, it's a major cause too. Happy birthday to Oheneyre. And the next voice is Aisha Ibrahim. And then after that is Sammy Foster.